input from Bob, as well as Bob's work on the 2024 Complete Streets. And then we get down here to the library. The library is requesting whatever the cost of living adjustment that comes out of, or that the council would consider giving the employees in 2020, that the city council would also cover that for the library staff. On top of that, there was the request to continue the 2018 COLA of $5,200 and the 2019 COLA adjustment of $37.5. And I know back when the budgets were being considered, those requests were made back then, but it was never a council action to actually set that in place. That's why the note's still here. So based on continuing the 2018 COLA, the 2019 COLA, and covering the 2020 COLA, I estimated, because in the past, the library had given me a number, but they didn't give me a number this time. So I just kind of took what their salary was, added a number to it, and came up with approximately or potentially about a $4,000 increase. Of course, we don't know until we get to COLA, which would bring their number to about $188,225. And then I think that's pretty much what we went over last time. At the end of the day, then, if you guys go with that, we're looking at a general levy increase of $55,504, which is about a 7.8% increase in the levy. We're going to get about I think it was $22,000 roughly of additional LGA. But I think I reported to you guys last time that even though we get that $22,000 bump in LGA, they took away PERA assistant aid, and they took away our transportation aid that they've been giving us the last couple of years. So it's kind of a wash. Transfer from the liquor store was $100,000, and we also have a special levy that we have to do for the street projects that we have to pay for, city hall project, etc., and that amounts to $200,000, which is about a 6% levy, special levy increase. So that's where we're at. So the question is, I guess, how comfortable does council feel with the 7.8% general levy increase to try and accomplish everything that we want to try and accomplish this year? And I know I haven't really talked to or heard from too many cities yet. I know in the past our levies have always seemingly been lower than what most other cities are doing out there, and we've been able to, with the single-digit levies that we have done for several years, we've still been able to set a little bit of money aside, and we've been able to accomplish something. So, any questions, any comments, any thoughts from the council?
I appreciate you guys hashing all that out. I was part of it last year, and it's not that great.
Well, this is not going to be popular, but I'm either the wrong guy to have the library in his portfolio because I'm critical of the library, or I'm the right guy to have the library in his portfolio because I'm critical of the library. But how is $188,000 sustainable? Because it's going to keep going up. And it baffles me that we just accepted the fact that they're city employees because they're part of the city employee training. And every year we pass a COLA increase for the city employees, and then we have to go over and above that or in addition to for the library. It makes no sense to me. And what do we get for our $188,000? We get a department head that doesn't attend department head meetings. We get employees that get extra benefits over than the city other city employees, I think it's ridiculous that we fund a library to that extent. And I get it. We're supposed to, per statute, that gets regurgitated on us every time the library comes here, per statute, we have to fund them to the tune of $117,000 per capita. So I raised that to 120 just because I'm not great at math. So at 188, over 120, we're funding the library at 50%, actually over 50% more than what we have to by statute. I mean, it's outrageous. And we get employees that don't attend department head meetings. We get employees that are slow or drag their feet to answer administration emails. We almost have to ask permission to go to the library. We're expected to just sign the checks when they come for, oh, this happened to the building, this happened to the building, this happened to the building, but it has to be approved by the board before we can approve it by the, it's ridiculous. Anyone have any comment on that?
As far as any approvals go, that is statute.
Yeah, and I get it.
We didn't write that statute at the library board, so.
And I get it. I get there's this whole statute in place, but again, we're over 50%. We're funding them at over 50% of what we are required to, and that number is going to only go up every year. It'll go up, and how is that sustainable?
Wayne, since you're in the audience, do you know, being on the other board that you're on, is it in line with other libraries in the district, or our increases and our requests? And
You want to address the microphone?
Well, in general, I don't see what all the other libraries get, but I think we're in the same ballpark as them because they all fall under the same rules that we do. They all have to do the comp worth. They're all compared in every city under the comparable worth statutes, just like we are here. So all their employees have to fall under the city. It's the same everywhere.
So they're city employees.
Yep.
So why does the library staff get holiday pay and city employees do not?
Get holiday pay? We get paid holidays just like the city.
whatever the
Part-time.
city's holidays
No,
are.
Part-time?
The part-time employees at the library, I believe, get benefits that
Couldn't
our
say, I couldn't
part-time
answer that.
other employees don't get.
Right,
There's
that
something-
doesn't make sense.
If the board has the authority, you guys have the authority to set wages, to set benefits for the employees down there, that, these guys really don't have any control over.
I mean, I've asked this in the past, and I've yet to get an answer. What is the current funding from the townships?
The townships?
Townships. The townships used to have a significant funding part
Those
of
were
this budget.
donations. It's not required by statute. In fact, there was a big argument with the townships, whether it was legal for them or not to donate to the city. For
And
the
what did they
operation of the
decide?
library, and they finally kind of haggled all that out, and they are allowed to donate.
So
But
currently, what is the
What you
portion?
What you get through your county taxes, the county does an assessment over the whole county, and a portion of the money that they assess for Viking library system comes back to this library as non-resident reimbursement. And that's always in our budgets that you get in your packets, it shows a non-resident reimbursement. That comes from people all over outside the city. And it's the same as, even if you're a city resident, you're still paying some of that. It's the same as, why do we pay for police here in town and we pay for the sheriffs when we have our own coverage? It's a duplication, of our taxes. And that's just always happened. That's just the way it is. That's a structure. But non-resident reimbursement comes back to the library from Viking Library, and that money comes from the county. So that's, in essence, that's every township, that surrounds us. They pay taxes to the county gives some of that money back to us. So but the townships aren't required to support the library, just like they're not required to support the swimming pool. They can if they want to, like they did that scholarship program through the Lakes District, but,
But non-city.
that's non-city residents doing that.
We do not know how much the townships contribute
They're solicited each year?
Yeah, but do we know what that amount is?
No, because nobody does until they give it.
What was it last year?
I don't know.
I don't have that with me tonight, but it's in the donation line to the library. All the donations that are in the report that you get, that's township money, and any other donations that would come in.
Are they asked to consider giving more than the previous year, like obviously the city is?
They're asked, but they don't have to.
How are they solicited? I mean, are they sent a letter, or are they?
Well, oftentimes, they're attended meetings, township
At
attended.
times, and then they're solicited a letter all the time too, so asking, but they're just not required.
I think it's, you want to talk about duplication, I mean, if we approve a cost of living increase for the city employees,
It's the same as, if at the library board level, we don't approve a cost of living, it's gonna throw your stats off.
The pay equity would get thrown off.
Pay equity would get thrown off,
I don't know how long it would take to do
And
that.
then you guys are gonna get in trouble, That's kind of where we were at last time, so but the library employees aren't getting any more than the city employees are getting. And what we're doing is trying to keep pace with,
Pay equity.
I heard they're getting other benefits, the city employees are not getting.
not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that was new to me with the part-time holiday pay. It's something that was more being looked into, but I don't.
Danielle, is that something that,
Yes, part-time are paid holidays, 5 hours and 6 hours. I don't know if it's based on how long they've been there. And that was, it's been around longer than me.
yeah, and if that was done, it was done before I was ever on the board. But it's not a huge amount of money.
But that could be,
I've never calculated it to.
that could be rescinded.
Could be, by the board, yeah. Library board.
could be, that's the,
Yeah, it could be,
Yeah, that's where the confusion.
Just like you could rescind anything that the employees here
That's where
get.
yeah. I know where you're coming from.
Kevin, one way I've always looked at it, even when I was on council, Kevin, is we fund a swimming pool.
but they don't come to the school, or come here every year asking for more money.
They don't?
They don't.
Has it
Just look at the budget right
increased?
there, it's down to zero. We're not giving them any money this year. We're not putting any money in
The
it.
operation of the swimming pool
It stays the same,
every year?
pretty much. I mean, as far as operational.
Fairly flat.
So
except for
that's,
wages.
what, 3 months? How much does it cost for 3 months?
I don't know.
Library
Operate the
services are
pool.
far more people, I'm certain, than the swimming pool. I mean, our.
If I were to make a recommendation for the budget, I would recommend we cut the funding for the library to $150,000, which is still over 25% more than what we're required to by statute. but that's my